Have you ever looked at your reflection and felt like something was missing but you couldn't quite name it? Not sadness, not regret, not disappointment exactly. Just a sense that the woman staring back at you wasn't fully you anymore. Maybe it's in the way your hair falls flat when it used to have bounce. Maybe it's the style that no longer feels like it belongs to the woman you are now. Or maybe it's that quiet realization that your hair hasn't changed in years, even though you have. That realization can feel unsettling. It sneaks in during moments no one else sees. The way you tilt your head in the mirror and wonder, when did I start playing it safe? The truth is, for many women, hair becomes a quiet symbol of identity, a way to hold on to what once was or to avoid the vulnerability of change. But what if change, the right kind of change, could give something back? Because this isn't about vanity, this isn't about chasing youth or pretending we're still 30, this is about something far more meaningful. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about seeing your reflection and thinking, there she is, that spark you've been missing. It's not gone. It's just waiting for permission, for courage, for one small act of rebellion against the idea that beauty belongs only to the young. Hair has memory. It holds your history. It reflects your seasons of life, motherhood, career, grief, reinvention, freedom. But your hair should also reflect your now. And now is a woman who has earned her confidence, who doesn't need to explain herself, who deserves a haircut that frames not just her face but her truth. So let me ask you this, what if your next haircut wasn't just a trim? What if it was a declaration? What if it said, I know who I am and I'm not hiding anymore? What if it was the beginning of a new chapter? Not because you need to change, but because you're ready to reflect your growth with intention, style, and grace. This video isn't just about hairstyles, it's about possibility. It's about reclaiming the mirror and finding joy in what you see again. So stay with me, because what you're about to discover isn't just 5 haircuts. It's 5 keys to unlocking the most radiant, honest, and beautifully empowered version of yourself. And once you see it, you won't want to go back. 1. Soft layered bob. There's something timeless about the bob. It's a shape that has lasted for generations, refined, versatile, and endlessly adaptable. But when reimagined with softness and movement, it becomes something far more meaningful than a simple cut. The soft-layered bob is not just a hairstyle. It is a quiet revolution for women who have spent years putting others first, only to now look in the mirror and wonder when they stopped choosing themselves. If your hair has started to feel limp, heavy, or lifeless, this cut offers not just a new look, but a new energy, one that doesn't try to mask your age, but lets you step fully into the beauty of it. What makes this haircut so powerful isn't just its visual appeal, it's the way it restores what time may have gently faded. With age, hair often becomes finer, loses volume, and begins to resist the bounce and vitality it once had. The soft-layered bob is designed to bring that life back. Strategically placed layers, adding lift where you need it most, creating natural movement that flows instead of falling flat. It gives your hair space to breathe, and in doing so, it gives you space to feel like yourself again. There's a subtle elegance to this cut. It hugs the jawline just enough to create gentle definition, giving the illusion of a more sculpted face without any harsh lines. The layering around the cheeks and chin works like a soft focus lens, drawing the eye upward, refreshing the overall shape of the face and restoring that often overlooked detail, the feeling of lightness. It's the kind of haircut that doesn't try too hard but always feels polished, present, and alive. Styling becomes effortless. A quick round brush blow dry gives fullness. Letting it air dry allows natural waves to surface. It's a haircut that moves with you, adapts to you, and reminds you that beauty doesn't have to be difficult to be powerful. And when paired with subtle highlights, not to change your identity but to reflect light, it creates dimension, softness, and a glow that lifts the whole appearance. This cut is for the woman who doesn't want to look younger but who wants to feel seen again. It suits nearly every face shape, from round to oval to angular, because it molds to your features rather than trying to reshape them. It listens to your hair's texture and meets it with grace, not resistance. It's forgiving, flexible, and flattering, 3 words that too often disappear from conversations about women's beauty after a certain age. But here's the truth, this cut isn't about the hair. It's about the woman underneath it. The one who's finally ready to let go of what no longer fits and choose something that feels like her, evolved, vibrant, and beautifully in motion. 2. Side bang pixie. There's a certain kind of freedom that comes when a woman decides to let go of what she's supposed to be and instead chooses what truly feels like her. The side bang pixie isn't just a haircut, it's a statement. A quiet, powerful reminder that style has no expiration date, and neither does boldness. For women over 50, this cut can feel like a breath of fresh air, like stepping into the light after years of playing it safe. It doesn't just change how you look, it changes how you carry yourself. The beauty of the pixie lies in its contrast, short yet soft, structured yet fluid. With gentle side bangs and subtle volume at the crown, it brings attention right where you want it. The eyes, the cheekbones, the smile. It opens the face without exposing it. It lifts, brightens, and sharpens the natural contours that time may have softened, not with harshness but with intention. There's a sharpness to this cut, but never cruelty. Its strength with grace, its elegance with an edge. Many women fear short hair because they've been taught that femininity lives in length. But the truth is, femininity has nothing to do with how much hair you have and everything to do with how confidently you wear it. The side-banged pixie is living proof. When cut and styled with care, it gives thinning hair new life. It removes the weight that drags everything down and replaces it with lift, texture, and lightness. The layering at the crown creates a fuller, thicker look, even when the strands themselves have become finer with age. And with the right side-swept fringe, you get softness exactly where it's needed. A gentle veil across the forehead that frames the eyes and softens lines without hiding the beauty beneath them. This haircut also honors time. It works wonderfully with natural gray, allowing your true color to shine with sophistication rather than resistance. It's a look that says, I'm not trying to be younger. I'm proud of every year, and I want my style to reflect that. It's modern without chasing trends. It's bold without being loud. And most of all, it's low maintenance in the most liberating way. No more long blowouts or struggling with limp lengths. The pixie lets you wash, tousle, and go and still look undeniably put together. It suits many face shapes, especially oval, heart, or long, but its real gift is in how it changes the energy of the woman who wears it. There's something magnetic about a woman in a pixie cut who owns it, who walks with that lifted chin and soft smile that says, this is who I am now. Not hiding, not apologizing, just fully wonderfully herself. So if you've been waiting for permission to try something different, to do something bold but grounded, this might be it. Because sometimes the shortest cut can reveal the most of you, the courage, the clarity, the confidence that's been there all along. 3. Shoulder length. Shag. There are seasons in life when you crave something different, not because you're trying to escape who you are, but because you're finally ready to express it more fully. That's where the shoulder length shag comes in. It isn't loud or flashy. It doesn't try to rewind time. Instead, it quietly rewrites the rules of what hair over 50 can look like. It's a style that celebrates movement not just in the hair but in life itself. For the woman who's stepped through decades with grace, this cut says, I'm still changing, still evolving, still deeply alive. The beauty of the shag lies in its texture. Layers artfully placed bring weightless volume to hair that may have become finer or more resistant with age. These layers don't overwhelm. They lift, they dance. They invite light and energy back into every strand. If your hair has started to feel flat, tired, or heavy, this cut is like a gentle wind blowing through, waking it up from within. The shoulder-length shape offers the perfect canvas, long enough to feel feminine, short enough to be effortless. But what truly makes this cut special is how it adapts to you. It embraces natural texture, whether straight, slightly wavy, or something in between. It doesn't force your hair to behave. Instead, it works with what's already there, enhancing rather than correcting. Even a subtle wave becomes a feature, not a flaw. Even a bit of frizz becomes character, not chaos. This cut honors real hair. Lived-in hair, the kind that tells stories and carries history. And then there are the face-framing layers. Soft pieces that glide gently across the cheekbones, graze the jawline, and draw attention upward. They don't just flatter, they rejuvenate. These layers create an openness around the face that feels like light entering a room. Pair them with curtain bangs, and you add even more softness. A breezy elegance that highlights the eyes, softens forehead lines, and adds just the right touch of playfulness. It's not just a change in shape, it's a change in energy. Styling is simple because the cut does most of the work for you. A bit of texturizing spray, A few scrunches, and you're ready. Letting your hair dry naturally enhances the relaxed, undone beauty of the shag. There is no need for precision or perfection here. The charm is in its movement, its ease, its refusal to be stiff or overdone. If you've ever felt that your hairstyle no longer reflects your inner vitality, the shoulder-length shag may be your answer. It doesn't fight against age, it flows with it. It doesn't try to reclaim the past, it brings beauty into the now. And above all, it reminds you that softness, spontaneity, and spirit don't fade with time. They just need the right shape to shine again. 4. Chin-length blunt cut with soft layers. There's something powerful about precision, about clean lines, about simplicity that speaks louder than extravagance. For women over 50, the chin-length blunt cut with soft layers is a quiet nod to this kind of strength. It doesn't try to charm with frills, it doesn't ask for approval, it simply stands on its own, refined, clear, confident. This haircut is for the woman who has nothing to prove but everything to express. It's not about looking younger, it's about looking sharper, more awake, more defined, a woman in complete command of her story. With age, the contours of our face begin to soften. The jawline that once held such clear structure may now blur at the edges. And while that softening carries a beauty of its own, sometimes what we seek is a little balance, something that returns clarity without harshness. That's exactly what this cut offers. When hair falls precisely at or just below the chin, it does something subtle but striking. It frames the lower face in a way that visually lifts and defines. The blunt edge acts like a sculptor's line, elegant and intentional, drawing the eye to the neckline, sharpening the jaw, and restoring that clean silhouette we often miss. And yet this isn't a rigid style. What makes it special is the softness layered just beneath the surface. Slight internal layering allows the hair to move, to breathe, to avoid heaviness. It keeps the cut from becoming severe or blocky. It's that delicate tension between strength and softness, precision and play that gives the style its character. It looks polished without looking forced. It looks effortless without seeming careless. This haircut also brings life back to thinning hair. As strands lose volume with age, ends often become wispy or uneven. A blunt cut removes that fragility and replaces it with density. The hair appears fuller, stronger, and more vibrant. Combined with the structure of the shape, it becomes a kind of anchor, a style that holds its form with dignity even as everything else becomes lighter. Styling this look is refreshingly simple. A light blow-dry to curve the ends inward adds instant polish. Tucking one side behind the ear creates a modern asymmetry that adds just the right amount of intrigue. It's the kind of cut that holds up beautifully through daily life, whether you're dressed up for a special event or heading out in jeans and a tee. It adapts, but it never fades into the background. For women with heart-shaped or angular faces, this cut brings balance. For those who wear glasses, it frames the face in harmony with your features. And for anyone who appreciates a look that communicates clarity and intention without ever feeling overdone, this may be your match. Because sometimes elegance doesn't whisper. Sometimes it speaks with quiet certainty. And this cut, clean, graceful, and beautifully direct, lets the world know you've arrived exactly as you are. 5 long layers with curtain bangs. There is a quiet, enduring love many women have for long hair. It's more than just length, it's memory, identity, expression. But as we move through the decades of life, the way we wear that length begins to matter more. Not because we're holding on, but because we're evolving. Long layers with curtain bangs offer the perfect middle ground. A style that honors the grace of maturity without surrendering softness, femininity, or movement. This isn't about clinging to the past. It's about carrying your beauty forward with fluidity, with elegance, with intention. Long hair, when worn all one length, can feel heavy, dragging the face downward and making it harder for natural texture or volume to shine. Long layers change that. By strategically removing weight and adding shape, they breathe life back into your hair. They allow it to move again, not just physically but emotionally. With each step, your hair floats instead of falling, it whispers instead of weighing. And that movement reflects something much deeper. A woman in motion, not standing still. The real beauty of this cut, however, is in its framing. Curtain bangs are like the gentle brush strokes of a portrait. They part naturally, sweeping away from the face in soft curves that flatter without hiding. They draw attention to your eyes, soften lines across the forehead, and add dimension where it's needed most. Unlike blunt bangs, which can feel severe, Curtain bangs feel like a breeze, light, airy, forgiving. And because they grow out so gracefully, they don't demand constant upkeep, making them perfect for a life that values ease. This style works beautifully on a range of hair textures. Whether your strands are straight, wavy, or somewhere in between the layers, help emphasize what's already there rather than forcing your hair into something it's not. And that perhaps is the truest expression of self-care, working with what is naturally yours. Amplifying it rather than erasing or correcting. You're not trying to look like someone else. You're letting more of yourself be seen. For women who felt pressure to cut their hair short after a certain age, this cut is a gentle rebellion, not defiant but quietly self-assured. It says, I still love the way I feel with hair that moves, that catches light, that brushes my shoulders and reminds me I'm still vibrant, still feminine, still me. It doesn't ask for approval, it doesn't seek permission, it simply flows. Styling is beautifully simple. A touch of mousse at the roots, a round brush to lift the bangs, and a bit of wave if you wish. That's often all it takes. Let the rest move freely as it was meant to. This cut isn't about control. It's about allowing your beauty to be what it already is, graceful, natural, and very much alive. Because growing older doesn't mean fading. It means flourishing. And this haircut, in its softness, its ease, and its flowing strength, reminds you that the best version of you is never behind you. She's right here, still unfolding. So here we are, 5 hairstyles. 5 unique expressions. One message that runs deeper than anything else. This is your time. Not to hide, not to shrink, not to hold on to who you once were, but to step into who you are now, fully, proudly, and without apology. The soft layered bob brings back movement and energy, gently lifting your features and letting you feel that lightness again. It's not just a cut, it's a reminder that even small changes can awaken something powerful inside. The side-banged pixie speaks to the part of you that's ready to let go of what no longer serves you. It's bold but never loud, feminine but never fragile. It says you know who you are and you don't need to prove it to anyone. The shoulder-length shag brings your natural beauty forward with texture, ease, and playfulness. It doesn't ask you to control your hair, it invites you to set it free, just like you've been learning to do with your own voice. The chin-length blunt cut gives structure and elegance to a face that has told a lifetime of stories. It doesn't try to erase the years, it frames them in quiet confidence. It brings back the definition you may have missed, not because you need it, but because you deserve to choose it. And then there are the long layers with curtain bangs, soft-flowing, feminine. They hold on to the part of you that still loves feeling romantic, free-spirited, connected to the sensuality of movement and shape. They don't pull you backward. They let you move forward with grace, honoring every strand of experience you've earned along the way. What unites all these styles is not a desire to chase youth, but a commitment to celebrate the woman you are today. These aren't just cuts, they are reflections. They speak to where you've been and who you've become. And they remind you in the mirror, in your posture, in your spirit, that beauty doesn't fade. It transforms, it deepens. It becomes richer when worn with wisdom. You don't need permission to change. You don't need to ask if it's too late, because it isn't. It never was. Whether you're ready to reinvent, refresh, or simply return to yourself, this moment is yours. Let your hair reflect your power. Let it mirror your softness. Let it become part of your story, your statement, your joy. And if something stirred in you today, if even one style made you feel seen, understood, or a little braver, then don't let this be the end of the journey. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's next. Because more than just hairstyles, we're building a space where every woman over 50 feels inspired, radiant, and deeply at home in her own beauty. Your next chapter starts now, and I promise it's going to be your most stunning yet. Hit that subscribe button and come along with us. You're not just watching a video, you're coming home to yourself.